Okay, you lot, so we just got a new event in Moco, and it is a Rift Gauntlet on a roll event, right? So this is more of a PvE event where you and two other players are fighting either two wolves, or I believe it's two wolves, right? Or you are fighting the boss, right? So as you can see, there are maps on a roll 1 and on a roll 2. For now, I'm gonna mostly be reviewing Honor Roll 2 because Honor Roll 1 is very self-explanatory, and trust me, even if you screw up a bit, you will be able to get a easy 1 minute 30 run in there. I'm mostly gonna be focusing on Honor Roll 2 because this one is a much harder one, and it requires you a bit better mechanics in order to beat. And the way I'll do it is I will show you a perspective from 3 different roles, right? Because the role you get in here is random. So what I'll do is I'll showcase you a run as an archer, for example, and then talk about the best things to do and not to do as an archer. I'll do the same for a healer and then for the tank, right? So if you want to find a specific role, feel free to use the YouTube chapters at the bottom, right, or the timestamps in the description. But yeah, without further ado, let's begin the video. Okay, so let's start our video with a run as a tank, right? And I will have the gameplay showing in the background while I talk about some tips and tricks that I found after doing this event for a bit, right? I've been grinding at it for almost an hour by now, so I've played around with a lot of the roles in the event, right? And for the tank, the main thing I want to mention is, first of all, stay on the other side of the archer. Trust me, as an archer, it will save you a lot of trouble by accidentally getting hit, and as long as you stay on the other side of the archer, they will have a much easier time doing damage. Because remember, in this event, archer is like 90% of the damage. Another 9% of the damage is the healer, because his weapon is actually very powerful, and the last 1% is you. So essentially, whether you attack or not really won't impact the run too much, unless you are going for the leaderboards, right? The second tip I do have as a tank is, when the boss uses the spin attack, you can actually absorb the whole spin. If you are full HP before the spin starts, you can absorb the whole spin as long as you have your shield ready, right? And what this means is, essentially, when the boss starts spinning, what you want to do is follow him around. And the reason you do this is because you want to make sure that the boss does not start targeting any of your other allies, right? As long as you are the closest ally, he will be constantly targeting you, right? And yeah, when it comes to the tank role, essentially that's about it. I would say it's one of the easier roles, right? Because first of all, you don't have to worry about receiving a lot of the damage or anything like that. All you have to do is really just stand in there and absorb it, right? So yeah, for tanks, that's about it. Stay on the other side of the archer and make sure to have your shield ready in order to absorb the whole spin. Now let's do a run as a healer. Again, a healer is one of the more simple roles as well, right? Your whole goal is to, first of all, constantly heal the shield while also hitting the boss. And here's the thing. You really want to make sure that you are able to position yourself in a way where you are not only shielding, or rather healing the tank, but also doing damage. And sometimes even doing damage is more of a priority than healing, right? Because a lot of the healing you can do just with the gadgets alone, right? And yeah, whenever you have a devitalizing mist, make sure to spam it as soon as possible. Trust me, if you see that this tank is missing like 15% of HP, might as well pop it. The cooldown rate is super low, right? And the way you want to position yourself is that you are able to hit both the tank and the boss. However, you don't want to stay in the same line as them, right? So for example, you can see that there's a line between you and the boss, and you don't want the tank to be in between that line. You want it to be on either side a little bit, where you can still hit them, but not be in the same line. And the reason you don't want to be in the same line is the boss will constantly throw out attacks that can stun. Those attacks are really, well, this one that you saw right here, these are really hard to react to, and usually you won't be able to dash through them. Now unfortunately I died, but we still got a 130 run. And you won't be able to react to. That's why you want to constantly be able to target both the boss and the tank. However, you want to be moving into each side so that you can dodge it without having to react to it, as well as in case the tank decides, or not the tank, but in case the boss decides to hit the tank with his attack, you don't accidentally walk into it, right? You want to position yourself so that you are able to dodge it if the boss targets you, but you don't want to be getting hit by a throw that is getting targeted at your tank, or sometimes even an archer if he is close to you, right? And lastly, we are going to the POV of the archer, right? So you are, I hate to say it, but you are like the main role in this, right? Because you can somehow dodge a bit without the tank. The tank can survive a bit without the healer. But you're not winning the round without the archer, right? So when it comes to the archer, first of all, one of the tips I have to mention is very similar to the one I gave for the healers, and that is to always make sure to move in either side, because if the boss decides to throw the stun attack at you, even if you don't react to it with the dash, as you can see here, you will be able to easily dodge it, right? Second of all, what I want to mention is try to stay on the opposite side of the healer and the tank, right? There is a good chance, because there is two people there is a good chance that the boss will target majority of the attacks towards them, and the less downtime you have on your shooting skills, the less time you have on your multi-zapper skills, the more damage you will be able to do, right? Another thing I want to mention is when the boss throws out his AoE attack in this little cone, you can actually hit him through it, right? You can stand at the end of that cone and still hit the boss, so do not be scared and do not be running away from it if you see that he starts launching it, right? And the last one I want to mention, and this one is mostly important if you are going for more of a leaderboard run, or you just want to ensure that you have enough damage, right? And that is that you want to position yourself in a way where, of course, this requires a bit more cooperation with the tank, right? So I'll showcase you a clip right here from the same battle. Essentially, what you want to do is your tank wants to stay as close to the boss as possible when he is spinning, right? The healer role, again, healer has the hardest time when the boss is spinning, because he can't really consistently heal the tank, but he also needs to dodge the ability because he's usually close to the tank, so that gets problematic. But as long as the tank and the archer plays together really well, you are able to get a lot of extra damage in. And the way you do this is, if the tank is able to constantly follow the boss as he spins, the archer can come a little bit closer to the boss and continue dealing damage. Because usually in a lot of public lobbies you will see that if you are an archer, or if someone else is an archer, right, as soon as the boss starts his spinning attack, they will stay at a distance where they are not able to do damage. And the problem with this is, not only are you missing out on some damage that you could do, but also your bow starts losing charges, which means that even after the phase ends, you will have a little bit like a second or two of slower attacks, and you don't want that to happen. So if you feel like you are not confident in doing damage as the boss spins, at least try to get closer, get like 1 or 2 shots off and then dash away, purely in order to keep up the charge on the bow so that it doesn't go off cooldown, and not off cooldown, but like that it doesn't lose charges and that you don't start attacking slowly. So in this clip, as you can see, as soon as the boss starts moving, what I try to do is, wait, is it this one? Yeah, what I'm essentially doing here, it was towards the end, right? But if I spin it back a bit, you can see that I'm trying to follow the boss around, right? I'm not trying to stay away, I'm trying to keep it at a distance. Lovely thing here is that the tank understood fully what he needed to do. He tried to stay close to the boss, which meant that the boss wasn't able to spin away towards a different enemy, right? So yeah, that is pretty much the sort of little guide on this event, right? I'm hoping that it helps you out, because I know that at first this event was very confusing. I saw a lot of people dying. I was dying myself, I have to admit that. But yeah, as you play around, you'll definitely get the hang of it, right? And yeah, hoping that these little tips will help you out in your run. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you want to stay tuned for similar content like this. And yeah, that's about it. And peace.